Yo, what is up guys? Ethan here back with another video, and in today's episode, we're going to be doing the top 5 most under the radar players for this upcoming season. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button as I'm going to be trying to grind as many videos as I can during this quarantine time. Now, before we get started, I was supposed to do this previous video, but I decided to do Oklahoma State. And also, even though it's a top 5, these are going to be in no order. Even though there's going to be a number at the top, that's just because it's going to be the first player we're talking about. So, 5 players, and yeah, let's get straight into it. And we're going to start with the man on your screen or on the thumbnail, Jamar Jefferson, running back from Oregon State. In 2019, he had 142 carries, 685 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Also, 9 receptions, 85 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And you may say, Ethan, okay, how is this man going to do good? He did this all in 5 games, as he did get injured last season. This stat line for a running back, well, I do understand it's in the Pac-12, and they may not have the best defenses. And it's also Oregon State. They're not the best team. This is a great stat line for a running back. And even though he may not be one of the top 10 running backs in the nation next year, this guy is going to be super under the radar to start out the year. And this guy is going to be phenomenal. If he did this in 5 games and had over 500 yards, man, in 12 games, this dude could have like, I'm not going to say 2,000, but I can see this guy having like 800 yards next season. If he doesn't get hurt, and this is the stat line he has, this guy is going to be probably the main focus for Oregon State's offense next season. Next guy, he is a popular guy, but I only have him on here because he is super underrated. Kenneth Gainwell, running back from Memphis. I personally have him as of course, Travis Etienne and Chuba Hubbard are the top 2 running backs in the nation. But I personally think for that number 3 spot, it's up for debate between Najee Harris of Alabama and Kenneth Gainwell from Memphis. He did all this in his freshman season. In 2019, he had 231 carries, 1,459 yards, and 13 touchdowns, and also 51 receptions, 610 yards, and 3 touchdowns receiving. This guy can do it all. Well, I do understand that Memphis probably is a team that really produces running backs. You had Tony Pollard and Darrell Henderson a few years ago. And there's another guy that I forget as of right now. But in recent memory, Memphis is grinding out fantastic running backs. And Kenneth Gainwell is probably the best one we have seen coming out of Memphis so far. He can play that slot receiver, but he's a way better running back. And he's probably going to be, just like Jamar Jefferson, the main focus point of Memphis' offense next year. Now, I do understand that he does get a lot of recognition, but he's only on this list because I think he deserves way more recognition than he has been getting. So, yeah, and those were the only 2 running backs. Now we have 2 wide receivers, and then we have a defensive player for the last spot. Number 3, we have Jaden Blue, wide receiver from Temple. In 2019, he had 95 receptions, a little over 1,000 yards, and 4 touchdowns for Temple. Now, for this upcoming season, he's going to be the number 1 guy for Temple, as last year he was the number 2 guy. Temple, they did lose a few of talent, and especially their top player in Quincy Roche, as he did transfer to Miami. But Temple is, I'm not going to say they're going to be as good as they were last year, but they're definitely a team to watch out for in the American, and Jaden Blue is their top weapon. Now, I do understand he's probably going to have like 1,500 yards this year, but that 4 touchdowns is a little concerning. Now, even though he may be the slot guy, he is not producing enough in the red zone. And if you want to be a top caliber wide receiver, you're going to have to get those touchdowns. Now, I'm not saying touchdowns are everything for a wide receiver. It's definitely something. Now, he is on this list because Temple, they're not known for producing top tier wide receivers. And Jaden Blue is definitely going to be a guy to look out for next year in that Temple offense. Number 4, we have Warren Jackson, wide receiver from Colorado. In 2019, he had 77 receptions, 1,119 yards, and 8 touchdowns. This guy I personally think is better than Jaden Blue without a doubt. But I do think Jaden Blue is going to be more recognized. Warren Jackson is from Colorado State. The American is a way better conference than the Mountain West. And without a doubt, Temple is a way better team than Colorado State. I'm not even sure if Colorado State made a bowl game last year. I think they went 5-7. I could be wrong, but Warren Jackson is a key piece. Another thing to point out, he is 6'6", and he is above average as a speed runner for a wide receiver. This guy is a great athlete and great in catching traffic. You just lost Preston Williams a few years ago, and you just found your guy in Warren Jackson. And now I think I really could see people saying, okay, Warren Jackson, without a doubt, could be a top 20 wide receiver. I'm not going to go as far as say top 15 or top 10 because this is a great wide receivers in the college football for this upcoming season. But Warren Jackson could definitely sneak in to be easily a top 20 wide receiver. And the 5th guy, the only defensive player I have on this list, is Brandon Echols, cornerback from Kentucky. It's kind of like a similar situation to Kenneth Gainwell. He is recognized, but he's only on this list because I think he deserves way more recognition. In 2019, he had 43 tackles and 2 forced fumbles. No interceptions, though, but without a doubt, he has one of the best press man cornerbacks in the entire nation, all of college football. And he is great in contested situations. So he's in the SEC. You're going to be going up against George Pickens, and you throw up that 50-50 ball, there's probably a 60% chance that Echols is going to break that pass up. Echols is a phenomenal player. I do think he is recognized because Kentucky's not really known for football, mainly basketball, and they're in the SEC. SEC has Alabama, Georgia, Auburn, LSU, all those top tier schools in that conference. And Kentucky, yes, they were a 7-5 team last year. They're probably going to be 7-5, 8-4 this upcoming year. But Brandon Echols is going to be the best player on that team no matter what. And I personally think he is a guaranteed top 10 cornerback in the entire nation. So that is it for the top 5 most under the radar players in 2020. Another guy I was considering to put on this list was Karim Rashid, linebacker from Oregon State. I don't know his exact stat line from the top of my head, but for a linebacker, he had 14 sacks last year. 14. A mix that I didn't put him on because I think top 5 is better than top 6, and I didn't want 2 Oregon State players on this list, and I decided to go with Jamar Jefferson instead. But Karim Rashid is definitely going to be a top 5 linebacker in this upcoming season. I really think he can definitely be a top 5 linebacker this upcoming season. And Oregon State, I'm saying it right now, they are going to be a very underrated team this year. My bad. So in the comment section below, who did I leave off the list? And out of the top 5 players I said, which one do you think is the most under the radar? So guys, I hope you enjoyed your video. Like, share, subscribe, and like always, have a good day. Peace out.